G'day cocktail lovers, it's time for another of my favourite cocktail recipes to go in the book, and this one, it's called a port-side spice. It was on my top 10 for 2025, given I tried over 100 cocktails that were new to me in that year. Hitting the top 10, not a bad achievement. I should specify I did considerably change the recipe because the main ingredient in the recipe I found was just nah. So I'm keeping the name, the port-side spice, created by Simon Difford, but I'm doing it my way. People who know me might be taking bets right now. Okay, what's the ingredient he hated? What's the ingredient he doesn't want in a cocktail? Well, let's play the game, shall we? We put it up on the big board. Was it A, vodka, B, Campari, or C, coffee? It was, ding 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 ding, vodka. Because vodka's bullshit. The recipe I found called for ginger and cardamom flavored vodka, which turns out that was a limited edition made by Absolute. That sounds awfully specific and not many people will have it. Also, Absolute. Ugh. That does bring up an area where vodka can actually be useful, namely to carry other flavors, because if it's any sort of a decent vodka, it will be a neutral spirit. Also, just if the other elements in the cocktail are the interesting flavors, but they're not boozy, and the vodka is just the alcohol delivery system. So go ahead and enjoy your vodka cocktails if you like. Just know I am judging you because there is always a better option than vodka. The first ingredient in my substitution is this Christmas gin from local distiller Four Pillars. They bring out a version of this every year. The distiller actually uses his mum's Christmas cake in the distilling process to get the flavors in the gin, which is a fun little thing to do. Obviously, that's very localized. Not many people are going to have it, but I feel pretty confident with the number of gin distillers around the world, you could probably find something local to you, or make it yourself. Just infuse, I don't know, cinnamon, nutmeg, dried fruits, the things that are in a Christmas cake or a Christmas pud, and create your own Christmas gin. This would probably work well enough on its own as a substitute for the flavored vodka, but that's not complicated enough for me. And remember, I'm doing this my way. The drink's called a port-side spice, so no surprise that tawny port is front and center. Next, there is the Christmas gin. Fun fact, they commission a different artist every year to do the label for this gin. To get the ginger flavour, I'm using this honey, lemon and ginger liqueur from another local distiller. I'm also using some apple brandy because I decided that'd go well with the other flavours. The recipe also calls for orange liqueur. I'm going to use my homemade blood orange liqueur. And the final ingredient is the rum liqueur falernum. I'm going with the classic John D. Taylor's Velvet Falernum. That's what I'm putting in the cocktail, but if you're going to try this at home, and I do recommend it because this came out really well, follow my example. Improvise! It's one of the things I love most about making cocktails at home. Just making do with what you have and adapting recipes based on what you have, what you like, and the more you do it, the more confident you get either coming up with your own recipes or adapting one you find, because you get a taste of what you like, what works, what's balanced, and you get to have cocktails along the way. How good is that? So let's make this one. In a mixing glass, putting 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of tawny port, then half an ounce or 15 mils of a Christmas gin, half an ounce or 15 mils of the ginger liqueur, half an ounce or 15 mils of apple brandy, a quarter of an ounce, 7.5 mils of orange liqueur, and a quarter of an ounce or 7.5 mils of falernum. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and then straining that into a chilled Nick and Nora glass. And as this is Manhattan adjacent, spirits and fortified wine, with the addition of some liqueurs, I'm going to use my favourite Manhattan garnishes, a twist of orange peel and a maraschino cherry on a skewer. All of which gives us a port-side spice. Done. Definitely time to give this a taste. That is as good as I remember. Honestly, I've been surprised over the last couple of years. I've really gotten into port and sherry in cocktails, which, you know, I'd always thought that's grandpa drink and grandma drink. And yes, okay, technically, definitely old enough to be a grandpa. This has worked really well. It's very tasty. Everything else is supporting the port. Port on its own, I've developed a taste for as well. But this comes together so well, and I'm really glad I did it You guessed it.
But through it all, when there was doubt, up now, I ate it up and spat it out.
I don't remember how the rest of it goes.